Here we are, time to walk into the world of a business. This is a Business Express brought to you by InfoSwitch on a feel good Friday morning here on the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. We love music and we love life. Ayokunmi here. And you know what it is on a Friday or how we do. It's all about tech and everything within that space. Tech Friday is what you are tuned into. Welcome to another very amazing ride in about 15 minutes or thereabouts, and it's an interactive ride as well. So that means you get to be a part of the proceedings this morning. All you need to do is to share your thoughts with us, your messages on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 444 zero, let me take it again, 0809 444 That is the WhatsApp number. Also, we're on YouTube streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Today, we'll be talking about using technology to boost waste management and recycling. Sounds exciting, right? Joining me to talk about this is Olajide Ogbe. He is the co-founder of Rio Jeevez Limited and General Secretary of the Lagos Recyclers Association. Very good morning to you, Jide. Great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ayo. Great to be here this morning.
Pleasure. I mean, to talk about this, combining tech and waste management and recycling, that is something that sounds particularly exciting. But before we even dive into that, how would you assess the waste management efforts in Lagos at the moment, bearing in mind things we've seen recently and we've heard as well? Where do you think Lagos stands in terms of waste management?
Yes, let me say categorically, Lagos State is leading in waste management in Nigeria because there is a lot of structure in place and they're making it more to do in the waste management because Lagos State are laid some institutional agencies, let's say like LOMA, LASEPA, Ministry of Environment. They are doing wonderfully to tackle waste management in Lagos State. If I want to assess it from my own angle, I would say is in count of 10, I can give 5 because they are really, really doing a lot of things. That's why you see Lagos getting cleaner every day. It's not, we are still going there, but they are really, really trying on waste management.
I mean, there is still a lot to do, but as you said, strides and efforts are being made in that regard. Okay, now let's bring in the tech side of things to this conversation. How exactly is tech or can tech be able to boost waste management?
Yes, basically, techs have really assisting us in the industries, especially in the waste recycling industries, because we have a couple of tech savvy tech, tech companies in our space. We have that drive collections in the space, and they have like 3 of almost like 5 of them in our space, and a member of Lagos State Recyclers. Let me give an example. We have a Packham, we have a junkyard, we have retreasure, we have a waste tax, and they're about doing wonderfully in the recycling space in Lagos State, driving collections and aggregation of waste within the communities.
Okay, interesting. That is going on that side of things. I will come back to that in just a moment. Let me talk about AI. That's artificial intelligence. I mean, from where you sit right now, from your experience and everything that you've done thus far, can you see AI boosting efforts to improve waste management? Is that something that is too futuristic to think about right now?
Yes, because AI will assist a lot in the waste management, especially in waste recycling, because the wastes have a lot of different materials, and with help of AI, sorting process will be very, very easier. A lot of technology is coming in. A lot of people are bringing in different kind of technology by AI for
Mm,
sorting, processing, so that we don't mix different materials. Because in a plastic environment, we have different kind of materials, and they might look alike, but the materials
mm,
are different. They might look alike, but the materials are different. But with effort of an AI for identification of different kind of materials, AI really, really solve the problem, and in the process line to ease the process.
Okay, now that just raises some questions in my mind. When you talk about the sorting process and everything there, you also mentioned that what things like plastic, they have different types, of course. You have to separate this and that. So without applying any technology or AI or anything, and you had maybe a batch of waste to then, begin to sort and all that, how long would it take to sort, doing it manually without any assistance from tech or anything?
Yes, without assistance of tech, it's very cumbersome because you hire a
Ah,
labor. The labor cost is an higher side because the volume of plastic determine the number of laborers you need to hire sometimes
okay,
because
okay.
you need to sort it out one by one, identify different kind of plastics. That is how, but in the effort with an AI, it will streamline the process.
Ah, okay. Because I was just trying to imagine the sort of stress that we'd be involved in having to manually have to do this the sorting process and everything. Sounds very tedious without the help of technology to make things a whole lot easier. Okay, now let's talk about recycling. Now I know that over time there's been a drive to push recycling to get into the consciousness of people and so on. I've seen recycling points here and there, but despite all that, is recycling a culture in Nigeria yet?
At the moment, how should I say about recycling culture in Nigeria? We are just transiting to the culture because it's not our culture before. But let me use Lagos State as an example because Lagos State is a frontier in waste recycling in other state, any in Nigeria right now. But in
Mhm.
Lagos State, recycling cultures is becoming norms little by little. But we need to intensify the effort so that we can make it as a culture. Because
Okay.
when you talk about recycling in Lagos State, each local government in Lagos State have a recycling hub, but the effort is still going, unlike advanced country.
Okay. Now talking about these recycling hubs, I mean, are there enough of these spots, at least in Lagos, to for you to say that okay, we're in business and we're making progress? Are there enough, and what more can be done or should be done in that regard?
Yes, as I said earlier, we have a recycling of each local government of Lagos State. But the local government is very, very big, but its effort is people are still investing on establishing more spots so that we can have more recycling hubs around Lagos State. And a lot of investment is going around so that we can increase recycling in Lagos State.
Hmm.
That is the way out.
Okay, now how about the awareness, the push for people to understand better what recycling is and for them to be able to key into it as well? I mean, because you can put up all the recycling hubs and spots there, but if people don't really know what they are or what their benefits are, it's really pointless. So what about the awareness and the education where that is concerned for the people in general?
Yes, in a waste recycling, especially we recyclers, actually we give value to waste. That's why first things we give value to waste. That's why people are now interested in selling their recyclables because giving a value to waste is the work of recyclers so that they can see how they can monetize their waste. And a lot of
Right.
sanitization programs around Lagos State, a lot of campaign online, a lot of street jungles, but we still is a process. It's a process because let's give self a projection in next 5 years. At least you're supposed to have it like cover like 80% of Lagos State that recycle materials. It's a process you just started in not couple of years, and thank God we are going in the right directions.
All right, that is actually good to hear. Now, let me talk about something that always bothers me when it comes to waste management, and that is people who still litter the streets. It's something that just gets me feeling very. In fact, let me just calm down. Let me just calm down. Now, there's a law that actually
I
punishes.
understand.
It's annoying, right? There's a law that punishes this particular behavior with fines, but there's not enough implementation as far as I'm concerned. I mean, how can we actually cut down on this littering culture or littering habits that a lot of people out here have?
Yes, as I said, there are lots of um, law enforcement, but implementation side is on low side at the moment. But how can we make it work? First thing, we need to do sanitization program. Sanitize, at least telling a lot of people, educate them about what recycling, the benefit of recycling to the society, and all those things. It can make them realize that these materials they are holding is a value. If they see the value in that material, they won't litter the streets. That first thing. The
Mm,
other thing is the enforcement. It needs to be publicized very, very well through medias, through so many handles, so that let people see that if you litter the road, if you litter this, especially littering it, then if there is a law and then there's enforcement and there is a media process that pushing it, that littering the environment is a sin and it attracts a fine. Maybe people might have a rethink about it and see how they can look for the nearest hub to drop their waste. That is the only thing it can cure. We need more education, continuous educations, behavioral change, because a lot of people, even elite people, they still litter, forgotten. That is, we call it behavioral change. If you have a behavioral change about our environment, then a lot of publicity about it, fine. Then people can have a change of heart and see the value in their waste.
all right, thank you for sharing those tips there, Jide. Let me take a message on WhatsApp as we wrap up on the conversation. This is from Gilbert Musa. He's in Festac, and he says on waste management in Lagos, it is currently below average. As of 2022, Lagos was the dirtiest city in Nigeria. In the 1980s, waste management in Lagos was fair, but from the 90s till date, it's still on the downward trend. Even modern states like Lekki Phase 1 and 2 are currently land filled with filled land with filthy plastic all over the place, even in drainage channels. Jude, Gilbert doesn't agree with you in terms of your assessment of the waste management efforts in Lagos. I mean, do you want to comment on that and try to give Gilbert a different perspective?
Okay, Mr. Gilbert, thank you for sending in your message. Yes, as you said earlier in the 90s and the 80s, you can calculate, you can guess the population of Lagos State then and the population of Lagos State right now. Then in 80s, when we talk about plastics, plastic are not in vogue in the 80s. Plastic started in vogue in late 90s to 20s. Now, a lot of effort are being in place because if you look around Festac and you see a lot of different hubs, you see recycle points, you see so many people around Festac. Then in 80s is not there. No, recycling is just a process. It's just a new sector that just growing from waste management. Now, Loma is trying to do a lot of what you can do because if our people, what I said earlier is behavioral change. But our people, they can there are people that can use their waste dump, pay their
Mm,
bills. You know, a lot of people that don't want to pay bills, they just litter the environment. When they during the rainy season, a lot of people pour waste into the environment. Is it a fault of Loma or is a problem of we Nigerians? We, we have to have a behavioral change to tackle waste management. Our government is trying, recycling are trying, but is a process. We can just give it a projection in next 5 years, next 10 years. How can we get there? Because we can't compare ourselves to the Western world at the moment. They have the infrastructure in place. They have almost policies. But in Lagos State in particular, they are really trying and they are putting an effort to tackle waste management.
All right, thank you very much, Jude. I've been talking with Olajide Ogbe. He's the co-founder, Rio Jeevez Limited, and the General Secretary of the Lagos Recyclers Association as well. It's been a pleasure having you on Tech Friday on Business Express this lovely Friday morning. Thank you so much. All righty, and the fun continues on the Smooth Breakfast. Don't go anywhere. Great music get coming your way, and then at 7:30, we'll take a look at the papers on Freshly Pressed.